afternoon, and good evening, family and friends. We are back again. All right, so Friday, fun day, TGIF, all the things. First, I want to give a shout out to another YouTuber. This channel is called Casual Geographic, and this guy, he only does animal videos, like educational animal videos, but he is absolutely hilarious. Okay, if you've never watched it, or if you're interested, if you like animals at all, watch one of his videos. You'll fall in love, trust me. Anyway, so on to today's topic. Okay, and I don't really have a title yet, but let me just jump right into it. Okay, for all the, whether it's school shooters or whether it's, premeditated murder, I don't use assassination, I'm going to say premeditated murder of a social media figure, all these things, there is a common theme that the perpetrators are these young men, troubled young men, however you want to say it, but they come from these conservative Republican households. Okay, now the reason I bring this up is because I've noticed that no matter what, the politicians, the Fox News, they will do whatever it takes to avoid saying that, avoid that correlation. They say, oh, he was mentally unstable. Oh, he was affected by, radical. They say everything other than to say that these kids, that their conservative Republican parents failed them. No matter how you slice it, the parents spent their entire lifetime with them. And you're telling me that these kids got radicalized or whatever in a matter of a few hours or a few days being around someone other than their parents? That's what you're saying? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. The parents get no culpability in any of this. I know very particularly, like, all of my kids, I was an influence in their lives, and people that know me, you've heard me say this 30 years ago, 20 years ago. I've said this. I said, hey, I want to make sure that I'm around my kids so that they don't grow up to be a school shooter. People have heard me say, people thought it was a joke at the time when I was saying this 30 years ago, before my firstborn. 20 years ago, before Ian was born. Why do you think I got custody of my kids? Because I wanted to make sure that they grew up with a stable father figure, to make sure that I didn't have kids that wound up on the news like this. Okay. Now, I just want y'all to pay attention to that. You think about this. Every one of these kids that grew up in two-parent households, conservative Christian, Republic, blah, 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 but they never blame the parents. That is part of admitting that you have a problem, or, admitting that you have a problem is the first step to fixing it. All right? So we're going to get past that. All right? They like to blame, whether it was back in the 80s, they blame music, or they wanted to blame movies. Now they're trying to say and blame liberal. Like, no, take some accountability. That's your baby, that's your kid. Own up to the fact that you did something wrong raising them. All right? Now, let's get past that. All right? The hypocrisy from Republicans when it comes to talking about trans, trans people in women's sports, whatever. Like, that's the new boogeyman, trans, right? You do realize that Fox News hired Caitlyn Jenner as on Fox News, and is that like, did you do that because Caitlyn Jenner is your token? Like, I don't get it. Is that the same reason why you have some of the black people on there, like Candace Owens, that talk bad about black people, like self-hate? I don't get it. Just something to think about. Just something to think about. Okay. I think I've done enough. I think I've done enough damage today. I felt in a mood because I'm wearing my white. This is the only white shirt that I have, and I think this is the second time I've ever worn it. But I felt like I'm in a mood. It's Friday, and I'm just in black and white. Anyway, I know I was all over the place today. Thank you guys for watching my video, and just consider that. Think about why they don't want to blame the parents for these school shooters. Why they don't want to blame the parents when these kids fly off the handle. Just think about the psychology behind that. Okay, how they always want to be. They never want to be the villain in their own story. That's why they don't want to teach you. That's why they're trying to get rid of Black history and books on slavery and things like. They don't want to face. They don't want to see that mirror. They don't want that mirror in front of them to show them. Anyway. All right. Thank you guys for watching my video, and y'all have a good afternoon.